Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear students in grade 9 prep 3 and our sons abroad, welcome to my channel. Today, inshallah, we will study poetry. The title of the poem is If. It was written by Rudyard Kipling. He was an Indian poet. He was born in 1865 and died in 1936. Now we will have a very quick review about the poet. He was born in Bombay in India. He was educated in England. He worked as a journalist. He wrote a few good simple poems and short stories. In his poems, he tries to help the Indians and give them some advice. He was awarded the Nobel Prize. If this poem is dedicated, when I say my dear students dedicated, it means it teaches a lesson. The father teaches his son how to be perfect, how to be a perfect man. He advises him, you should be patient. If you are patient, if you don't give up hopes, if you are lenient here means tolerant, متسامح أو لين الجانب. You are tolerant. If you are tolerant, if you are brave, if you have self-confidence, if you are able to face failure, you will be a man in the real sense of the word. بالمعنى الحقيقي للكلمة. Now we will see the main idea, and my dear students, this main idea will help you when you paraphrase the different stanzas. A father advises his son to prepare himself to face life with its good and bad sides. If the son follows his father's advice, he will own the world and everything in it. Moreover, he will be a man in the full sense of the word. Now let's read the first stanza, and I advise you, my dear students, to keep the stanza by heart. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied out, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor walk too wise. Now we will see the vocabulary. Keep your head means be calm and stable. Lose your head means lose your temper. Allowance means excuse or try to find an excuse for others. Deal with lies, be a liar. He advised his son not to be a liar if people lied to him or give him lies. Don't give way to hating. Don't hate. He advised his son not to hate people if they hated him. He asked him, or he advised him, not to return back hatred with hate. So he wants him to love and be tolerant to other people. Paraphrase. In this poem, the poet is advising his son. He is teaching him how to face life, which is full of good and evil, fortune and misfortune. In the first and second lines, the father is asking his son to be calm and stable and never be angry, even when people around him are getting angry. In the third and fourth lines, the son is asked to have self-confidence, even when all people doubt him. Son should listen to other people's criticism. It may be true, and he can reform himself. So the father asked his son to listen to other people criticism, because they might be true in their criticism, and in that case he might or he should reform himself. In the fifth line, the son is advised to be patient. In the sixth line, the father wants his son to be honest. He shouldn't be a liar. Even people lie to him. In line 7, he wants his son to have a forgiving nature, طبيعة متسامحة. He shouldn't hate those who hate him. In the last line, he advises his son to be humble, متواضع, not to be very proud of himself. لا يكون متفاخرا بنفسه. Now, my dear students, we will see the figures of speech, and I will tell you, or I want to tell you, that the figure of speech is one of the most important questions in poetry. Contrast. There is a contrast in that poem. Like what? First, keep your head, losing theirs. Trust, doubt. Lied about, don't deal in lies. So, my dear students, when you are asked to pick out figures of speech from that stanza, you have to write one or two, whatever you are asked to write one or two figures of speech. You have to choose one or two from these figures of speech. General paraphrasing of the first stanza. This will help you to know the review of the stanza. In the first stanza, the poet asks his son to be brave and have confidence in himself. He calls him to have the patience to listen to others' criticism, even if it is untrue. He advises his son to follow an honest, loving, moderate way of life. Now let's see the rhyming scheme of that stanza. A, A, B, C, B, C. We finished with the first stanza. Let's go directly to the second stanza. Let's read it first. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Let's see the meaning of the words, my dear students. Triumph means success. Disaster, failure. Imposters, false things forced upon you. Knaves, wicked people. الناس الأشرار. Bear, tolerate. متسامح. Stoop, bending your body down, affected by failure. He asked his son not to be affected by the time of failure. He should stand up again and try to build himself to achieve success again. Worn out, torn, or suffering. Tools, means. Thus, action of throwing suddenly. Let's see the paraphrase, my dear students. The father wants, in line 1 and 2, the father wants his son to be realistic and not to live in a dreamy world. ألا يعيش في عالم من الأحلام. He should act, work, apply his thoughts instead of dreaming. In lines 3 and 4, the father says to his son that life imposes different circumstances of success and failure. الحياة بها لحظات كثيرة من النجاح والفشل, which contradict one's wishes and hopes. تتناقض مع لحظات الأمل والرغبة لدى الإنسان. So he advised his son to deal with failure as well as success. Success shouldn't turn his head, make him too happy, and failure shouldn't let him down. يبقى هنا بينصحه أن يكون متوازنا في لحظات النجاح أو لحظات الفشل. In line 5 and 6, son is asked to bear the wicked people who might change his true words to deceive him. أن يتحمل الأشرار من الناس. In line 7 and 8, son should never give in when he fails. He should never be disappointed. He has to start again if he loses. The figures of speech. Here in that stanza, there is a personification. Personification means تشخيص. Make dreams your master. He personifies the dreams as being a human who is master. All your winnings, risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. He personifies his winnings as being something which can be thrown away. There's also a repetition. The poet repeats the word if many times in each stanza, then the answer, all the ifs comes in the last two lines. This completes the picture. Here the figures of speech: triumph, disaster, truth, imposters. Let's see a general paraphrasing of the second stanza. In the second stanza, life imposes different circumstances of success and failure, which contradict one's demands and hopes. The poet's advice to his son is always try again. And what about the rhyme scheme of that stanza? A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. I want you to keep that rhyming scheme by heart. This is the end of our session today, my dear student. In the second session, inshallah, we will study and discuss stanza 3 and 4. Till we meet again, don't forget to put like and subscribe to the channel. Till we meet again, thank you very much. See you inshallah soon.